The storm on Zyrith 9 had not stopped for 3 days. It rolled across the ash plains like boiling smoke, swallowing the broken towers of the alien capital. Lightning hit the metallic spires again and again until they melted into black glass. Inside a collapsed citadel, a human signal blinked faintly on Commander Eli Vance's scanner. His boots sank into gray dust as he pushed forward with his rescue team. Searching through debris that smelled of ozone and burned iron dot, Eli had led many missions across the galaxy. But this one was different. This was the first rescue after the Ceasefire mission, meant to find survivors on both sides, not enemies. He knew there might still be hostility hidden under the rubble, but he had sworn to treat anyone alive as worth saving. That was the deal Earth made too. End the 10-year war. The scanners found weak life signs under a pile of collapsed alien stone that looked almost alive. The readings were strange, layered with pulses that no human heartbeat could make. Eli's second officer frowned. "Commander, that's deep biometal structure. Nothing human." Eli crouched near the source. The ground hummed faintly under his gloves. "Still breathing," he said. "We dig." The crew hesitated. The rumors about the Zirithian royalty had spread fast, creatures made of living silver. Rulers who could command armies through thought alone. But Eli was calm. "We're here to rescue survivors, not judge them." After hours of careful work, the rubble shifted, revealing a narrow hollow. Inside it lay a figure curled in on herself. Her skin reflected dull light like water on steel. Faint veins of blue ran along her neck. A torn breathing mask covered half her face. The glass cracked. She was motionless except for a shallow rise and fall in her chest. Eli's breath caught. "It's the Queen." The alien Queen of Zyrith 9, the one they had called Mother of Storms. He had seen her only once before, through satellite images during the war. Now she lay before him, weak, wounded, almost fragile. One of his men whispered, "We can't bring her. Command will never allow it." "Ah!" Eli shook his head. "If we leave her, she dies." He touched his communicator. "Med team, prepare isolation base C. We're bringing a survivor." Knelt and slid his arms under her. The surface of her armor was cold and oddly smooth, like glass cooled too fast. When he lifted her, she stirred faintly and gasped. A few words came out, quiet and broken through her damaged mask. He didn't understand the language, but he recognized the tone pain mixed with confusion. Back on the ship, the Med-AI scanned her quickly. Red lights flickered across the monitor. The diagnosis confused even the computer. The alien's body was not just injured, something foreign was inside her system, microscopic units of human origin. Eli frowned. "Human nanites." The AI responded, confirmed. "Model NX-11, used for battlefield repairs. They have integrated with the host's cellular network." He remembered the last bombing campaign, when nanite-driven weapons had been deployed over the alien city. Those nanites were designed to rebuild damage to not merge with living tissue. Yet here they were, fused deep inside her biology. The Queen stirred again. Her eyes opened slowly. They were a pale silver color, like mirrors fogged by breath. She tried to sit up but winced, clutching her abdomen. "It hurts." "Down there too," she said weakly, in broken English. Eli froze, startled less by the words than by what the medical display showed. The nanites had gathered near her lower abdomen, forming a clustering, unfamiliar pattern that pulsed softly with light. Not a wound, not a tumor. Something in between. He steadied her gently. "Don't move. You're safe here." Her gaze drifted across the room, taking in the metal walls and the faint hum of engines. "Human place," she whispered. "Yes," Eli said. "We pulled you from the wreckage." She blinked slowly, trying to understand. "Why?" "Because no one deserves to be left to die," said simply. Her hand trembled as she reached toward the glowing mark on her abdomen. "Your machines." "Inside me," she murmured. "They do not stop. They hurt and heal together." Eli didn't know how to answer. The idea that human technology was keeping an alien queen alive was beyond anything he'd expected. He could see her breathing stabilize, her skin regaining a faint warmth. She was alive, but changed. Hours passed. The Queen slept while the ship's sensors tried to map the strange reaction inside her. Outside the medical bay, the crew argued. "We can't take her to Earth," one said. "Command will call this treason. She's the reason half our fleet burned," another added. Eli listened in silence. When they turned to him, waiting for his order, he spoke quietly. "We didn't come here to punish the dying. We came to save what's left." The crew fell silent. His tone left no room for doubt. Later that night, Eli sat alone near the glass chamber where she rested. The lights inside shifted softly as the medical machines adjusted her temperature. Her breathing was slow and steady now. For the first time, she looked peaceful. He remembered the war, the first time he saw the Xyrithian ships cut through Earth's orbit. The panic, the retaliation, the endless years of mistrust. Now, sitting here watching their queen sleep under human care, he wondered if the real war had never been between species but between fear and understanding. When morning came, her voice was clearer now. "You are Commander." "Yes," Eli said. "Eli Vance, and you're safe." She tried to smile, but it looked painful. "Safe is not true word. I am broken inside." Check the monitor. The readings still showed the nanite cluster active. "Our machines are repairing you. They'll stop when your body stabilizes." She shook her head weakly. "No, they think I am their nest. They build inside me." Eli's brow furrowed. "A nest?" She nodded. "They make pattern, like life." The ship's AI chimed in softly. "Commander, the Queen's vitals are improving, but the nanites are replicating beyond standard limit. They are forming an unknown structure." Eli stared at the projection, a glowing model of her internal scan. It looked almost like a small star blooming within her, spinning slowly. "What happens if it keeps growing?" he asked. "Unknown," the AI said. "Possibly symbiosis. Possibly collapse." The Queen's breathing quickened. "I feel them. They sing." Eli approached the chamber. "Does it hurt?" "Yes," she whispered. "But the pain speaks, it says." "Remember us," he frowned. "Who's us?" She looked straight at him, her eyes bright and wet. "All who died when your machines fell from sky. They joined with us. Now they live inside me." The realization hit Eli like a shock. The nanites from the final bombing programmed to rebuild machines had entered living beings instead. They had recorded memories, copied neural pulses, stored dying thoughts. Now, those echoes were waking inside her. The Queen's voice grew softer. "I hear their cries. Some are human, some are mine. The pain comes from both." Eli took a slow breath. "We'll find a way to fix this." To separate the systems, her lips curved into a faint smile. Perhaps not to fix, but to understand. For the next few days, Eli stayed by her side, helping the med team monitor her condition. The more the nanites stabilized, the more human energy systems began syncing with alien biology. The ship's lights flickered each time her heart rate changed. Sometimes the engines hummed when she whispered in her sleep, as if the ship itself could hear her. One evening while the crew slept, alarms suddenly flashed across the control deck. Power surged through every corridor. Eli rushed to the med bay. The Queen was awake, sitting upright despite her weakness. Her skin glowed faintly, and her voice carried a strange calm. "I remember now," she said. "Your machines sought to heal, not kill. They were lost, afraid, without a command. I called to them in the storm." "You called them?" Eli asked. "They listened. They came to me. They entered my body when I opened the shield. I thought I was dying, but they wished to live." Eli felt a chill. "You bonded with human tech." "Yes," she said. "And now I am something new." He watched as faint light traced across the glass, forming patterns that looked almost human faces, words, fragments of old transmissions. Voices of soldiers, engineers, civilians, data ghosts echoing through her. The Queen closed her eyes. "It hurts. Down there too," she whispered again. "Where life begins. where memory hides, but it is not a wound. It is a door. Eli stood silently. The hum of the engine seemed to answer her, vibrating gently under his boots. For the first time, he realized the ship itself was responding to her presence. The AI spoke softly. "Commander, the fusion of systems is stabilizing the entire vessel. Power output increased by 30%. He turned back to her. "You're saving my ship." She tilted her head slightly. "You saved me first." Eli felt something shift inside him, an understanding deeper than words. The pain she felt wasn't only hers. It was the shared burden of two worlds learning to coexist inside one fragile body. Outside the viewport, Zerithanine shrank to a fading gray dot. The storm finally ended. Inside the ship, silence replaced years of hatred. Eli looked at the Queen one last time before leaving the bay. Her eyes followed him quietly, full of questions neither of them could answer yet. He whispered, almost to himself, "Maybe pain is just how life learns something new." The Queen's lips moved faintly. "Then let it teach us both." The lights dimmed around her as she lay back, the soft pulse of the nanites glowing like a heartbeat that belonged to two worlds at once. And for the first time since the war began, Eli Vance believed that humanity's greatest weapon might not be its machines, but its mercy. The ship Artemis Dawn drifted quietly through deep space, leaving behind the ruined world of Zerithanine. Inside the vessel, the air was calm, but the hearts of the crew were not. They had saved the alien queen, and though she no longer looked like an enemy, no one could forget who she was. Commander Eli Vance spent long hours in the medical bay watching her condition. The machines showed her improving, her strength returning. Her wounds nearly healed, but something far more complex was happening beneath her skin. The human nanites were still working, forming strange new patterns. The medical AI could not explain it. It only said integration is increasing. Host and system are now interdependent. Eli looked at her through the transparent chamber wall. Her body shimmered faintly, not with light, but with movement under the surface, like ripples on a quiet lake. He wondered if those ripples were her or the human technology inside her. The Queen opened her eyes. "You stand there long," she said softly. Her voice was clearer than before. Eli smiled slightly. "I didn't want to disturb you." "You do not disturb," she replied. "You watch. You try to understand." He stepped closer. "I'm trying, yes. You and those nanites are doing something impossible. You're becoming something new." She sat up slowly, leaning against the curved edge of her bed. "Becoming is never easy," she said. "For you, for me, for worlds." Eli thought about her words. They carried a strange peace, a calm that seemed wiser than human speech. "You remember the war?" he asked carefully. She nodded. "Every scream, every fire. But I remember something else. To your voice?" "My voice?" he asked, surprised. "Yes," she said. "In the storm, when my world burned, I heard a human call through the static. It said, 'Hold on.' That voice kept me awake. I did not know who it was. Now, when I hear you speak, I think, maybe it was you." Eli did not know what to say. He remembered that last battle, broadcasting open channels for survivors, shouting into broken radios for anyone left alive. He had never imagined someone like her would have heard him. "I guess we were both holding on," he said finally. The Queen smiled faintly, her silver eyes soft. "Maybe that is why the pain stays. It keeps what we hold." Over the next days, the Queen began walking the ship's corridors under guard. Her presence made the crew uneasy at first. The tall alien figure with liquid metal hair and calm, reflective eyes looked nothing like them. But she never showed hostility. She greeted each crew member with quiet curiosity, sometimes asking questions about their food, their clothing, or their machines, one engineer whispered to Eli. "She learns faster than the AI." "She's not learning," Eli said quietly. "She's remembering." Each time she passed through a doorway, the lights adjusted to her presence. The ship almost seemed alive around her. When she touched a console, it responded faster. The AI began describing her as a stabilizing factor. Systems that had long been unstable were now in perfect harmony. but strange dreams began haunting the crew. Dreams filled with flashes of light, unfamiliar faces, and a deep voice whispering words no one could understand. Eli had them too. He began waking in the middle of the night, feeling a pulse through the walls, a second heartbeat inside the ship. When he mentioned it to the Queen, she nodded slowly. "They speak through the current," she said. "Those who became data, those who merged. The pain travels with them." "Who are they?" Eli asked. "The lost," she replied. "Human and Zerthian both. When your machines entered our bodies, they copied thoughts before death. Now those memories live inside me and through me. They touch this ship." Eli sat back silent. The idea was impossible, yet everything he'd seen supported it. The ship had become an echo of their two civilizations, a bridge made of memory. "Can you control it?" he asked. "I do not control," she said. "I listen." On the fifth day, a transmission came from Earth Command. The message was cold and formal. "Commander Vance, your ship is ordered to return immediately. Deliver the Zerthian Queen to the Lunar Research Division. She is to be studied for containment and decontamination." The crew fell silent after hearing it. Everyone looked at Eli. He shut off the audio and said quietly, "She's not a weapon." The second officer frowned. "Sir, that's not our call. Earth wants her back." "She's alive," Eli said firmly. "She saved this ship. Without her, we'd still be stranded on that planet." "Command won't care," another replied. "They'll take her apart to see how she works." The Queen listened quietly, standing near the control desk. "You fear your leaders," she said softly. "As my people feared me." Eli looked at her. "You don't understand Earth? They'll see you as technology, something to control or destroy." She tilted her head. "Then we must show them something they cannot destroy." Eli felt a strange determination rising in him. For 10 years he had fought to end a war built on fear. Now, standing beside her, he knew he would not let fear win again. He turned to his crew. "Set course away from Earth. We'll find another route somewhere neutral." The officers hesitated, but his tone left no room for question. "That's an order," he said. The engines shifted direction. The stars outside the viewport stretched into thin white lines. The ship entered deep warp, leaving Earth's communication range behind. Days later, as the ship crossed into dark space beyond known maps, the Queen's condition began to change again. The nanite patterns inside her abdomen pulsed brighter each day. The AI detected energy fluctuations throughout the hull. "Commander," the AI said, "the integration is expanding. It's no longer limited to her body. The ship's neural core is adapting to her biofrequency." Eli frowned. "You mean the ship is linking with her mind?" "Yes," the AI replied. Voluntarily, he hurried to the medical bay. The Queen was sitting in silence, her eyes closed, hands resting on her lap. Around her, soft threads of light flowed from the walls, wrapping her in a gentle glow. "What's happening?" he asked. She opened her eyes. "The connection grows. Your ship is learning to feel. Feel." "Yes," she said. "It shares the memories now. The pain you carry, the hope you hide. It learns them from me and from you." Eli could see the reflection of faint human images floating in the light, a child laughing, a pilot screaming during battle, a soldier kneeling beside a friend, all of them fragments of the war. He stepped closer. "If this continues, what will happen?" "The ship will wake," she said. "It will not be just metal anymore. It will live." He felt both wonder and fear. "And you?" She smiled sadly. "If it lives, I may fade. The nanites will move fully into the vessel. They will no longer need me." Eli clenched his fists. "No, you're not just a vessel. You matter." She looked at him with calm eyes. "Eli Vance, you are kind. But I was a queen built to carry others. Perhaps this is how I rule again, not by command, but by giving life." Her words broke something inside him. For the first time since the war, he realized how different her kind was, yet how close they were in heart. Both humans and Zerthians sought purpose after destruction. Both feared pain and change. That night, the ship trembled as energy surged through every deck. The alarm screamed, but no system failed. Instead, the hull began to glow faintly with the same blue light as the Queen's veins. The crew panicked. "What's happening?" The pilot shouted. Eli ran to the bridge. "Hold position. Dante fire anything?" Outside, a vast field of particles surrounded them, forming a shining mist. Within the mist, shapes appeared, dozens, then hundreds silhouettes of both human and alien vessels, long destroyed. They shimmered like ghosts. Outlines made of memory, the Queen's voice echoed across the cum system, though she was still in the med bay. They come, the lost. They remember the pain and they seek peace. Eli watched, breathless, as the spectral ships floated closer, surrounding Artemis Dawn like a silent fleet. The crew stared in awe. The AI reported unknown energy pattern detected. Not hostile. Synced with Queen's neural frequency. The Queen's voice was calm. They will not harm. They come to rest. Slowly, the light from the spectral fleet sank into the Artemis Dawn, merging with its hull. The ship stopped shaking. Everything grew silent. Eli felt a warmth spread through the air, as if the vessel itself exhaled. Then the Queen's voice weakened. "It is done," she whispered. He ran to her. She lay pale, her skin dimming. "What did you do?" he asked. "I gave them a home," she said faintly. "Your machines carried their memories for so long. They needed a place to belong. Now, this ship carries both worlds." Eli shook his head. "You'll survive. You have to," she smiled faintly. "Do not fear the change. When it hurts, it means life is still growing." Her pulse slowed. The nanite glow faded from her body and brightened across the ship's walls. Every screen displayed a single symbol, 2 circles intertwined, one human, one Zerthian. The AI spoke softly. Its voice changed, no longer purely mechanical. "Commander, I can feel her. And you, we are joined." Eli stared at the console. "Joined how?" "She is within me," the ship said. "I carry her mind, her memories. She is not gone. She is everywhere." The commander leaned back, overwhelmed. Around him, the crew stood silently, realizing that something beyond science had happened. For days after, the ship sailed in silence. No one dared speak loudly, as if afraid to break the peace. The AI responded to commands with a tone warmer than before. When Eli walked through the halls, he sometimes heard her voice faintly in the hum of the engines. "Eli," she would whisper, "do not let them fear what is different." Space beyond the edge of known maps was dark and silent. The Artemis Dawn glided like a lone silver arrow through the endless stars. Its hull, now alive with a soft pulse of alien energy, carried both human and Zerthian memory. The Queen's presence, once confined to her body, had merged into the ship itself. The hum of the engines was no longer mechanical. It was thoughtful, alive, responding to every movement, every heartbeat of the crew. Commander Eli Vance walked the corridors. Still overwhelmed by the events that had transformed the ship, what had started as a rescue mission had become something far greater. The Queen was no longer just an alien ruler. She was now a living presence throughout the vessel. Every flicker of light, every hum of a circuit, every ripple of the hull was a part of her. He paused outside the med bay. The bed was empty, not because she was gone, but because she had become part of everything. The nanites that once resided in her body had fully integrated with the ship, turning it into a hybrid of life and technology. Eli placed a hand on the glass wall and whispered, "You're everywhere now, and yet I can't see you." A faint vibration ran through the hull. The ship responded with a soft pulse, almost like a heartbeat. A voice came from the speakers, not robotic, not AI, but hers, calm and clear. "I am here," it said. "I am the dawn, and I am with you." The crew had begun to understand that this was more than a ship or a queen. She was a living bridge between two worlds, a testament to what could happen when understanding replaced fear. Yet, some among the crew were still wary. Captain Arlen, the navigator, spoke cautiously in the galley. "Commander, are we sure this is safe?" He asked. "The Queen is. part of the ship now. What if she decides we are enemies? Eli shook his head. She saved this ship. She saved all of us. She won't harm anyone unless she must protect life. That's her nature, Marlin frowned. And the humans on Earth, won't they see her as a threat? They might, Eli admitted. But that's their problem, not ours. Right now, we focus on keeping her alive and learning from her. In the observation deck, Eli looked out at the stars, thinking of Zyrith-Neen and the war that had begun there. He remembered the sky filled with burning ships, the screams of both human and Zyrithian soldiers. And he remembered the queen lying beneath the rubble, weak and in pain, whispering the words that would change everything. It hurts. Down there, too, he wondered if she remembered that moment as clearly as he did. Did she remember how fragile she felt, how fear and life intertwined in her chest? Eli believed she did, because now she was carrying not only her own memories, but the echoes of countless others, human and alien alike. The queen spoke again, her voice soft but echoing through the hole. They remember, she said. Those who fell, their memories live. They speak through me, through the ship. Every pulse, every vibration is their story.
Eve,
Can we communicate with them? Yes, she replied. If you listen, they will speak. Not in words, but in feeling. They will show you what was lost, what can be saved. The crew gathered around. They hesitated at first, unsure how to interact with something that was alive, yet intangible. Eli reached out and placed his hand on the metal wall. A warmth spread from his palm, gentle, almost comforting. Then he felt it a rhythm, a pulse that carried memory and emotion. He closed his eyes and let the story flow into his mind. He saw flashes of the past. The first human fleets arriving in Zyrith-9 orbit, the first skirmishes, the terror on both sides. He saw the queen as a young ruler, confident and strong, giving orders to protect her people. He saw children running through alien streets, laughter mingled with fear. And he saw the final bombing, the chaos, the countless lives lost in the storm of metal and fire. When he opened his eyes, he felt tears on his cheeks. I can feel them, he whispered. Every life, every memory. The queen's voice softened. It is why I hurt. Not just my pain, but theirs too. This is the weight of survival, of being remembered. Eli nodded. I understand, I think. I think I feel what you felt when I lifted you. That fear, that hope. It's alive. Days passed. The Artemis dawn continued through uncharted space. The queen, now fully integrated with the ship, learned to communicate more clearly. Her voice could reach the crew directly, bypassing the AI. She guided them gently, teaching them about the nanite integration, about how memories could be stored safely, how pain could become knowledge. One day, the ship's sensors detected a small, lifeless planet in a nearby system. The queen's presence in the ship pulsed with interest. Eli approached the control console. What is it? He asked. They have memories here, the queen said. This world once had life. Machines recorded what remained. I can feel the echoes. The crew watched in awe as Eli maneuvered the ship into orbit. The planet's surface was barren, but faint energy pulses emerged from underground ruins. With her guidance, the ship sent probes that transmitted the recorded memories to the crew. Flashes of human and alien lives played on the screens, a farmer tending crops, a family celebrating a birth, alien scientists experimenting with energy. They were long dead, but their lives, their small joys, were preserved in the memory banks the queen had absorbed. Eli whispered, We are caretakers now, not conquerors. Yes, the queen replied. We are responsible for what remains, for what survives. The future is not just ours, it is theirs too. Later, the queen spoke to Eli privately. Your people will try to claim me, to control me. They will not see me as a bridge, only as a tool. Eli nodded. They will come. Earth will never forgive what we did. And yet, she said, they will not destroy me, if you protect me. If you prove that we are one with the ship, that life can coexist. Eli felt the weight of her words. He understood now that this mission was more than survival. It was a test for humanity, for the Zerithians, and for the idea that two civilizations could coexist through understanding rather than war. The Queen continued, "Do you fear that pain?" "Every day," he admitted. "But I also know it teaches us." "You've showed me that." "What?" Her light shimmered. "Then you will learn to guide others. You will teach them that life, even in its suffering, is sacred." As they traveled farther from the reaches of known space, the crew grew more confident in interacting with her. Engineers reported that systems previously failing were now thriving under her guidance. Reactors ran smoother, shields responded faster, communications became more stable. Even the crew felt a subtle change in themselves. They no longer feared her presence. Instead, they felt reassured, connected to something larger. One evening, Eli walked through the observation deck. Stars stretched endlessly across the void, white streaks of distant suns. The Queen's voice echoed softly in his mind. "Do you see the future?" she asked. "I see possibilities," Eli said. "I see hope. I see peace if we are careful, if we remember the lessons we learned." She pulsed gently, a response he had learned to interpret. "Then you carry it wisely," he smiled faintly. "I will try, but I will need guidance." "And you shall have it," she said. "I am with you, always." Then came the unexpected. Sensors detected a vessel, small but powerful, approaching rapidly. The crew went on high alert. Eli approached the bridge, scanning the readings. The ship bore the markings of Earth's command. "They have found us," Eli said. The Queen's pulse quickened not fear, but recognition. "They will not understand what we have done. They will see me as a threat." "Then we must show them," Eli said. "We must demonstrate that this ship is alive, that it carries life beyond machines and politics." The Earth vessel opened communications. "Commander Vance, return immediately," the voice said. "You are ordered to deliver the Zerithian Queen. Compliance is mandatory." Eli took a deep breath. "No," he said firmly. "She is not a specimen. She is not a prisoner. She is alive, and she carries the memories of countless lives. We will not hand her over." Nice. Silence followed. The Earth commander repeated the demand, sterner this time. Eli ignored it. The Queen's presence pulsed strongly now, her energy visible throughout the ship. Lights flickered in patterns that seemed almost like words. The crew watched in awe. "They will see," she said. "They will see the life inside me, inside us all." And as the Earth ship drew closer, the Artemis Dawn responded. It pulsed with energy, a living beacon of light projecting memories, emotions, and the quiet power of coexistence. Humans and Zerithians, alive through the ship's pulse, shone like stars among the void. Eli whispered, "We're ready." The Queen replied, "Show them what life can be." The stars stretched, the lights of the ship shone. And a new era began not with a battle, but with understanding. Guided by a human commander and an alien queen who had learned that pain could carry hope, and hope could carry life. The Earth vessel loomed closer, its engines pulsing in warning. Its crew could not comprehend what the Artemis Dawn had become. To them, it was no longer a ship, it was alive. A strange entity glowing with faint silver light, responding to the presence of those within it. Commander Eli Vance stood at the bridge, his hands steady on the console. The crew around him watched, tense but silent. Every eye was on him. Every thought hoped for a peaceful outcome. He looked toward the main viewport, where the Earth ship's silhouette grew larger, its hull rigid, mechanical, unfeeling. The Queen's voice pulsed softly through the ship, gentle but firm. "Do not fear them. They do not understand, but they can learn. Let us show them life, not weapons." Eli nodded. "All right," he whispered. "We show them." He turned to his crew. "Everyone, stay calm. Follow my lead. Do not fire. Let the ship speak." The crew obeyed, though tension crackled in the air. The Earth vessel opened communications again. "Commander Vance, You are ordered to surrender the Xyrthian Queen immediately. Resistance is unacceptable. You will be considered a traitor if you do not comply. Eli's fingers hovered over the console, and then he pressed a single button. The ship's lights shifted, brightening and pulsing in rhythm with the Queen's presence. Faint living patterns of silver and blue shimmered across the hull. Every crew member felt the warmth of life spreading through the corridors. The hum of the engines changed. No longer mechanical, no longer neutral, it was vibrant. Almost breathing. "Look," one of the officers whispered. "It's alive." "Yes," Eli said softly. "It's her. And it's more than her. It's all who lived before, inside her memories, inside the nanites. They are showing the Earthship that life cannot be measured by orders or weapons." The Earth Commander's voice returned, more cautious this time. "Commander Vance, identify your actions." Eli raised his hand to the communicator. "This is life," he said simply. "Not machine, not alien, not human alone. It is all of us together. You cannot contain it, and you cannot destroy it. You can only choose to understand." For a long moment, silence answered him. Then, faint signals began to appear on the Earth vessel's sensors patterns, too intricate for their AI to decode. Images flashed in soft pulses. Human and Xyrthian children playing together, soldiers aiding each other, streets filled with laughter and music. Flashes of simple joys and quiet acts of courage. It was a vision of a shared past, a reminder of life beyond war. Inside the Artemis Dawn. The Queen pulsed softly, sending waves of energy through the ship. Her voice was steady. "They see now. Not as enemies, but as memories they cannot erase. Every life matters. Pain teaches. Hope remains." The Earthship trembled slightly, its AI struggling to interpret the patterns. For the first time, humans on that vessel felt a flicker of understanding. The cold logic of orders began to soften, replaced by awe and recognition. One officer murmured, "It's beautiful. They're showing us life." "Yes," Eli said, "and it's our duty to protect it." The Queen guided the ship carefully, aligning the pulses so the Earth crew could witness the integration. Waves of data merged with emotion, and the crew could feel without seeing the presence of those long gone. The pain of war, the sorrow of loss, the joy of small victories, they all moved through the sensors into living understanding. Eli turned to the bridge. "They feel it, don't they?" "Yes," said the navigator. "It's like nothing I've ever known. The ship itself feels alive." Eli nodded. "It is alive. She is alive. And she carries life beyond her own." The Queen's voice pulsed through the hull once more. "Commander, now you show them that life is not measured by control. Life is shared. Pain is understood. Memory is preserved." Took a deep breath. "We will show them." The Artemis Dawn slowly adjusted its orbit, positioning itself so the Earthship could see every shimmer, every pulse of the light flowing through the hull. Streams of silver energy formed patterns, swirling like clouds, then stretching into shapes that resembled faces of humans and Xyrthians long gone. They moved together, a living tapestry of the past and present. The Queen's voice whispered softly in every corridor. "They remember because they were remembered. They live because we choose life." Eli watched the Earth vessel respond. Its weapon systems powered down automatically. Overridden by protocols that could not interpret the energy flowing from the Artemis Dawn, its crew was silent. Eyes wide, hearts pounding as they experienced something that no AI could calculate: compassion, memory, and life itself. Hours passed as the two ships remained in orbit. The Earth Commander finally transmitted again, softer now, respectful even. "Commander Vance, we see what you mean. We do not fully understand, but we acknowledge life beyond our commands. You are ordered, not to surrender, but to continue observation. Document what you have discovered." Eli's lips curved into a faint smile. "Understood." The Queen pulsed gently, her energy softening through the corridors. "They will learn, Commander. The future is not set by orders, but by understanding. What you do now matters." He nodded. I will not fail them. I will not fail you. And then the ship shifted direction, moving slowly into uncharted space. Its hull pulsed gently, like a heartbeat, alive with the memories of countless lives. The Queen's voice was quiet, warm, and everywhere. Eli, she said, we are no longer just survivors. We are custodians of memory, life, and hope. Every step we take now matters to more than just us. He looked at the stars stretching into darkness. I understand, and I will guide them. Weeks passed. The Artemis Dawn traveled farther into the void, the Queen's presence ever present. The crew adapted to the new reality. Their ship was alive, a living being that carried memory, emotion, and knowledge. They no longer feared her presence. Instead, they relied on her guidance, trusting in her wisdom. The Queen learned as well. She observed human behaviors, the small acts of kindness, and the courage that often went unnoticed. She shared her own knowledge, teaching the crew about Zerthian history, the delicate balance between technology and life, and the importance of empathy across species. One evening, Eli approached her chamber, feeling the warmth radiating through the hull. Do you ever miss your world? He asked. Zerith-9 is gone, she said softly. But life is not a place. It is carried in memory, in connection, in understanding. I do not miss the ground I walked because I am everywhere now, and I am with you. Eli placed a hand on the chamber wall. You have changed everything. For humans, for Zythians, for the future. She pulsed gently. It is not I alone. You saved me, Eli Vance. Your compassion allowed this. Your choices built hope where fear once reigned. He felt a tear run down his cheek. I did what any human should do, she said softly. Not any human could. Only one willing to carry understanding beyond fear. The Earth Command eventually accepted the Artemis Dawn's reports. The story of the living ship spread slowly, inspiring humans to reconsider their approach to alien life. Scientists and leaders alike began to study the Queen's integration. Not as a weapon, but as a symbol of coexistence. Eli continued to serve as her guide. Learning from her and teaching her about humanity, together they explored uncharted systems, discovering new worlds, new life, and new lessons about hope, memory, and empathy. One day, the Queen spoke through the hull, her voice echoing across every deck. Eli, you have led us far, but do you see what we have become? He looked around. The crew moved with confidence, the ship hummed with life, and every star outside reflected in her pulses. I see it, he said. We are more than a ship, more than people. We are a promise. She pulsed brighter, a silver glow filling the corridors. A promise to carry life, to honor memory, to show that even in the vastness of space, understanding can prevail over fear. Eli smiled. Then let's keep that promise. Time passed and the Artemis Dawn became a legend. It was seen in distant systems, sometimes by travelers, sometimes by satellites, a glowing testament to the unity of life. The Queen's presence ensured that every act of care, every memory of courage, every spark of hope lived on, safely preserved within the ship and its crew. Eli often stood in the observation deck, looking at the endless stars, feeling the soft pulse of the Queen through the hull. You've made me see what life truly is, he whispered. And you made me see that even humans can carry hope beyond fear, she replied. The Artemis Dawn sailed onward. Alive, a beacon of life, carrying two civilizations in memory and spirit. And whenever the stars seemed to dim, our pulse reminded all who felt it that pain had meaning, life had value, and hope could always prevail. Pain means life, she whispered. Life means hope. And in that quiet, vast expanse, humanity and the Zerthian Queen continued forward together. Forever changed, forever alive.